That's what I hear from the other side of the hotel room door. I'm a little terrified, kind of excited, because I am about to get lucky. Which is a feat considering I've been feeling like the unluckiest woman for a long time. I'm in my early 20s, a girl from Detroit who has been raised on hip hop and R&B music, and now I'm a music journalist working for an international satellite radio company. My job is to travel the world covering world music festivals. I've developed a taste now for bossa nova, Scottish bagpipe music, and Tuvan throat singing. But none of this matters. You see, my counterparts, they're all like middle-aged white men who spent their late teens and their early 20s backpacking through Europe and in Africa. They have degrees in things like ethnomusicology. And, you know, they're now in their latter part of their career considering themselves world music experts, and they make it known that I do not belong. And it's not just my colleagues. I mean, it's the artists, too. I was one time interviewing this Senegalese artist who refused to talk to me because he didn't do interviews in American English. So he decided to instead do a 30-minute interview with my West African colleague in real English. So when the Bob Marley Foundation personally invited me to cover the 60th anniversary of his birth in Addis Ababa, again, I was excited, but cautiously optimistic. And it was for good reason. When I got to Ethiopia, I immediately ran over to the press office. I found the PR agent there, and she said, "Oh, Shawna, it's so good to see you. But here's the thing. You know, all of those artists that we had scheduled for you to interview, well, their schedules are really tight. And with BBC here and MTV here, well, we just can't fit you in. But listen, all is not lost. There are plenty of people who have traveled from all over the world here to Addis Ababa. Maybe you can find some of them. I'm sure there's some good stories there." Okay. So that's what I do. I head over to the hotel and look for a couple people to interview. And I found a couple of brothers. They told me the story about how they had hitchhiked all the way across the continent to be there. And right as they were wrapping up their story, the PR agent comes running to me. And she puts a piece of paper in my hand and she says, "Go to this room and act like you belong." Okay, so I pack my stuff up, I run up to the room, and as I slowly walk to the door, I hear, "Jesus! That's what we need, Jesus!" I'm a little afraid now. So I start to see maybe a couple of minutes after this, two Frenchmen rush out of the room and they're kind of mumbling under their breath. Now I know they're French because although I am only fluent in one language, I can curse in several. So then I walk into the room and the air is thick. Her assistant is sitting on the bed. There's a camera crew in the corner, and she's sitting in a chair with a table and two chairs on the other side. And they motion me to come in. So I sit down and I unpack all of my recording equipment. And I ask, "So, how's Africa treating you?" She kind of gives me this strange, bewildered look. So I'm like, okay, we got to do something else. I'm like, okay. So this new album, it's confused a lot of people. I mean, can you kind of explain what it's all about? I'm talking about the ascension from the physical plane, the psychology of sin and oppression. Okay. Well, here's the thing. We don't know, like, where is this coming from? I am only revealing what is being revealed to me as it is being revealed to me. Now, at this point, I am so confused. I really desperately want to understand. And I'm sure she can see it on my face, so she lets out this deep sigh, and she turns to her assistant and she says, "Hand me my guitar." So as she starts to tune the guitar, it's just silence. Everyone's looking at me. And then she starts to sing. Everyone wants to know where you're coming from, where you're going to, because we want to come along too. You may laugh at me, but I'm in love. And she continues to sing, and as she sings, I just begin to think about my personal life and my professional life. I mean, here I am, a girl from the west side of Detroit, and I'm on the east coast of Africa, sitting across from a woman who I have idolized for years, and she's serenading me. And then I start to feel it in my stomach. And then it moves up into my heart and into my throat, and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God. And she continues to sing. And then the song ends. And all I can do is say, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And she says, "For what?" I said, "For my lack of professionalism. I'm so sorry." She said, "There's no need to apologize. Some people see emotion as weakness, but in reality, it's strength. We need your passion. Hold on to that." And then she stands up and reaches out to shake my hand. And I say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I leave. A few years later, the company that I worked for was going out of business, so they asked all of us to come in and collect all of the audio that we had recorded, all of the shows that we had presented over the years. And I happened to come across the audio recording of that song. Then I went online just to search to see if I could find the title of the song. And it was nowhere. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I went ahead and recorded it onto a CD. I grabbed my Sharpie, and I wrote, title, Shawna's Song. Artist, Lauren Hill. Thank you.